You can post tips every single day, but if people don't feel you in your content, they're scrolling past it. What makes Mel Robbins, Gary Vee, and Joe Rogan magnetic isn't just the value that they give, it's the personality they bring.
In this episode, we're talking about how showing your true self online is the most underrated business strategy out there, and why giving just tips isn't building the brand as much as you think it is.
Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. Last night, I got a DM from a lawyer in a nearby town who asked me how I was getting the views and engagement on my reels and said that he only gets a couple dozen views. And not that my social media is that fantastic. I'm not a huge influencer or even close to that. But because we're in the same space, he appreciated my content and was asking for some advice. And so I took a look at his page, and his content was very professionally done. It looked very nice. But he was talking on these reels, which I give him credit. He was there. He personally was the face of the reel. He was speaking, and he was giving little pieces of legal advice. And so that was all good, but his personality wasn't really shining through. He wasn't sharing necessarily opinions. And so my advice to him was, number one, why don't you try talking about some trending topics that are interesting to people at that moment? And two, try expressing some opinions on your content to show a little bit more about who you are and tell some stories about both yourself and your cases, because people love to hear stories. So your personality is what builds real connection online, not just your knowledge. So if you've been stuck in useful tip mode, wondering why your engagement is low, then this episode is for you.
I think that's some great advice that you provided to him, because your personality truly is everything. That's what makes you stand out. That's what differentiates you from your competition and makes you memorable. You can be sharing the best advice in the world, but if you're boring to watch, or you're just reading something that's extremely scripted, people are going to scroll right by you. So really making sure that you're infusing your personality into every element is crucial.
Tips are everywhere. You can Google how to grow on Instagram and get 10 million results. But you know what you can't Google? Your unique voice, your point of view, and your story. Too many brands fall into this useful tip trap. They share carousels, blog posts, and reels with helpful information, but there's no heart in it. There's no voice. There's no vibe.
I think a lot of it comes from fear, too. People are afraid to infuse too much of their personality because they're afraid maybe of rejection. It won't be perceived well. So they just stick to what is safe and tried and true and what other people are doing, and don't really understand how just taking that risk and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable can really be the best thing for engagement.
So the data backs this up. A 2023 study by Stakla found that 88% of consumers say authenticity is a key factor when deciding what brands they support. But only 51% think that brands are actually delivering on that. That means that half of your audience is starving for connection, while the other half is just tuning you out.
Well, think about it. If you are on Instagram and someone is selling a product, let's say it's a sponsored ad, if it looks like they're just reading from a teleprompter, are you going to buy it? Or if they're like, hey, I just bought this hair cutter and it is the best thing. My hair has been growing and it's so natural and fluffy now. Which one are you going to buy from? You're going to buy from the one who you think is telling you the truth. Regardless of how polished they sound, how beautiful or aesthetically pleasing they are to watch, you're going to buy from the one that you think is being honest.
A person who I think does this really well and who has just risen dramatically in popularity is Mel Robbins. She doesn't pretend to be perfect. She talks about her anxiety, her procrastination, her own struggles, while giving clear, practical advice. Her videos feel like a friend talking to you on a couch, not a guru on a pedestal. Her viral 5-second rule has tens of millions of views, and it's not because she had a fancy studio or perfect lighting. It's because people trust her. So the takeaway is that realness builds resonance.
Another example is Gary Vee. He breaks all of the rules. He is blunt, he swears, he wears hoodies, and he talks fast. But he's also consistent, passionate, and deeply human. He doesn't just say, post more. He tells stories about working in his dad's liquor store, about rejection, and about patience. His 200 million media empire wasn't built just on tips. It was built on his energy and perspective. So your key takeaways are your energy is your edge.
I love Gary Vee. He's just kind of in your face, tell it like it is, no nonsense. And even though, I think a lot of business owners may think that they would never want to be so outspoken or so just blunt in their own videos because they would think maybe that would be offensive to some people. But it works for Gary Vee because it's authentic to who he is, and he gets to the point, and it's hard to scroll past him because he's just loud and talks fast, and he's showing his personality, and people are attracted to that.
Yeah, and I think you actually brought up a really good point too, to stay true to your personality, because there are a lot of people in the world, in the social media realm, who will try to curse or try to act a certain way, and you can tell that that's not who they are. Like, it looked really difficult for them to be able to do it. It wasn't natural, it didn't flow. So as Brooke always says, take what makes you unique and magnify it by 100%.
Whatever.
What do you say?
However many percent. I think I say times 10, you times 10. But so Joe Rogan is another personality that we all, well, not all, but a lot of people know and love. And whether you love him or not, Joe Rogan's podcast gets over 11 million listeners per episode. That's more than CNN or Fox News shows. So why is that? I think it's because he is himself. He asks what he's curious about. He laughs, he questions, he challenges. He doesn't go for polish. I think he wears a t-shirt in most of his episodes. He goes for presence. So the key takeaway from Joe Rogan is consistency and curiosity are more powerful than perfection.
So the question is, how can you bring more of you into your content, brand, and presence? So we're going to be sharing 5 ways to infuse your personality in your online business starting this week.
So first is write like you talk, or speak like you talk. Sometimes you write out a script and then you read it onto camera and it no longer sounds like your voice. and this sometimes can happen too, especially if you're using ChatGPT or AI to generate a script, it may not sound like your authentic self. So you don't want to sound like a brochure. If you wouldn't say it at brunch sitting across from a friend, then don't post it. Instead, try this. Record yourself explaining your offer like you would to a friend. Then transcribe it and use that voice.
That's such a great tip. Second tip is tell the story behind the tip. Instead of 3 ways to grow your email list, share, here's how I got 300 new subscribers last month and what didn't work. People will always remember stories, and they will typically skim past tips. So if you can incorporate or preface your tips with a story, it's going to be more memorable for your audience. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Meet our expert team at Miss Biz.
Whether you need help with business strategy, brand development, or digital marketing, we have a personalized one-on-one coaching program just for you.
And if you're looking for something more budget-friendly, our group coaching services offer incredible value and the chance to learn alongside like-minded entrepreneurs.
Transform your business today. Visit missbiz.com and start your journey to success.
Tip number 3, and I tell my clients this all the time, use your face and voice. So many people are camera shy. I mean, it's not comfortable putting yourself out there if you're not used to it. But static posts and quotes, they're okay. But humans are always going to connect with other humans. Even if you feel awkward on camera, especially if you feel awkward, that makes you relatable. And think about it. What are you going to trust more? Are you going to trust a motivational quote that was written and is aesthetically pleasing to the eye? Or are you going to trust someone who is looking right in front of you into the camera and giving you that same motivation?
You can even just be honest and say, I'm really nervous. This is my first video. Like, so even being that transparent, I think, would get people to stop scrolling and listen to what you have to say, and also be empathetic and understanding, because that's a common emotion that a lot of people have. So just start simple. One story for 1 minute with one message.
The 4th tip is to share opinions, not just advice. This can be a little bit uncomfortable, especially if the opinion is controversial, and you don't know if it's going to be well received, but you will get much more engagement by sharing your opinions. So think to yourself, what do you believe that's different from the norm? What frustrates you about your industry? Gary Vee says, document, don't create. So document your real thoughts, because your perspective is your brand.
And 5th is to inject your weird. So your obsession with iced coffee, talk about it. Your love of 90s R&B music, mention it. The random notebook system you use that no one understands but you, share it. These quirks are what people remember, not just what you know, but who you are. This type of transparency is what attracts people to you.
It makes you relatable. So let me ask you, or let me leave you with this rather. Your brand is not just what you sell, it's how you show up. People don't want more content. They want connection. They want you. If Mel, Gary, and Joe have proven anything, it's that personality wins every time.
So if you're thinking about your content and you're wondering, am I doing this? Then I think a good litmus test is to ask yourself, what do people say to you about your content? Do people say anything? If people see you and they don't mention your content at all, then it probably means it's not evoking any type of emotion. It's just information. So, but if people are commenting on your social media, then what are their comments? And analyze those comments. Some of the best compliments that I got one was this weekend. A friend, she said to me, when I just need a brain break at work, I asked myself, what's Brooke talking about today on social media? And so I love that. That made me so happy because it showed that she was interested in what I'm talking about, not just liking it or commenting out of support as a friend, but it was something that she looks forward to seeing. And I thought that was a good indication that I am showing my personality.
Yeah, even if you get hateful comments, that can be a good thing too, because it means that people are watching you and paying attention to what you're saying.
Absolutely. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is @MissBizPodcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes.
So here is your challenge. This week, post one thing that feels 100% you. And it doesn't even have to be related to your business, especially if you're doing this for the first time. You can post it on your personal page, and it could just be talking about the stress of being a parent. You know, this morning I could have posted because I get out of the shower, I'm in a towel, go to brush my teeth, and there's no toothpaste on the counter, and there was toothpaste there yesterday. So of course one of my children took my toothpaste, and so I'm sitting there toothpasteless, and it's just like, you know, a struggle that I know that parents can relate to. Every other day I have no deodorant.
They use the last square of the toilet paper on the roll.
Yes. We could talk all day about this, how the kids just think everything belongs to them, and we don't realize it till we're in the moment, trying to rush, trying to get ready, and we're like, I got no toothpaste, no deodorant, my shirt is gone, my shoes are, you know, it's all gone, because my kids are old enough now that they can wear my clothes, so I can't ever find anything. So, but that would be a kind of relatable post. You might not want to put that on your business, but you could put that on your personal page, because the reality is people are getting an understanding of who you are, both in the personal context and on the business page. So, so do it on one or the other or both, but just do it. So getting back to your challenge. Post one thing that feels 100% you. It can be a story you haven't told. It can be a messy behind the scenes moment. It can be a rant about something, a celebration, or a real opinion. And tag Miss Biz Podcast when you do it, because we want to celebrate you showing up.
Because hiding behind tips isn't helping your business grow, but showing up as you are, that's where your real power is.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Miss Biz. If this resonated with you, please share it with a friend who needs the reminder that they are the brand.
And make sure that you subscribe, leave a review, and follow along Instagram @Miss Biz Podcast for more strategy and mindset shifts. We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media @Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.